8:42 here on this Wednesday morning. Technology is evolving in mental health care. From virtual reality to artificial intelligence, the use of technology can improve how we heal our mind, particularly after experiencing something traumatic. Now it's being used to help treat post-traumatic stress disorder as well. Dr. Aaron Fletcher and veteran Tanya Oxendine joining us live now to walk us through these new developments in PTSD treatment. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And Tanya, I want to start with you. Tell us about your own experience getting diagnosed with PTSD and then receiving treatment.
So my experience of getting diagnosed with PTSD, the PTSD is not a great experience at all. Thank goodness I was diagnosed when I was, and so that I can get treated for that. So then my experience with virtual reality, and Dr. Fletcher will get into that a little bit more, but my experience with virtual reality has helped me out tremendously. So much so to the fact that, for follow-on treatment after the initial virtual reality process.
Yeah, I was going to talk about your personal experience and how you think people can support their loved ones once they realize they've been diagnosed with PTSD.
Yeah, so my personal experience with virtual reality, at first I did not know what virtual reality was. It was a scary thought, but through the help of my medical team, they were able to pull back the layers and, get down to the core of what's needed specifically for me as a veteran, because each veteran's needs are different. So I was put back into the virtual reality field with the head goggles and the head set on behind a monitor. I was put back in that trauma of being deployed, down to the sights, sounds, smells, even to the point where I was sitting in a vehicle. And then you're put in this trauma, put in this situation, and after that process, you come out of the room and you're able to speak with your doctors during that 2-week program, again, with Dr. Fletcher, we'll talk about at Warrior Care Network, just to discuss the coping mechanisms, the coping skills, things we need to do to be better, to be a better individual, to be better for our families, so that we can persevere in life.
Yeah, pretty good description of what this entails. But Dr. Fletcher, I want to get in with you. How is virtual reality being used when we're talking about veterans facing PTSD?
Yeah, so it's important to note first that post-traumatic stress disorder is a disorder of avoidance. And so warriors spend a lot of time avoiding triggers of those painful memories that Tanya just described. And that really limits where they can go and how they experience the world. Virtual reality creates a safe environment to face that trauma. And as Tanya described, it is vivid and customized to your unique experience, down to the sounds, the smells, the vibrations. And then after that, you meet with a therapist who's going to help you process those reactions and really build the skills necessary to get back to living that full life, not feeling as though you have to avoid those triggers anymore.
Sounds like some pretty cutting-edge stuff here, but how do we know this is effective?
Great question. So there's an overwhelming amount of research showing that exposure therapy works. Prolonged exposure, particularly coupled with virtual reality treatment, is very effective with veterans. And as Tanya described, in our Warrior Care Network program, which is our 2-week clinical model of care delivering treatment for PTSD, we've been using this for nearly a decade. And more so than that, our warriors tell us it's effective. The Warrior Care Network has over a 91% completion rate, compared to about 50% in other programs, and a 96% satisfaction rate, which is pretty incredible, given how, Tanya very clearly explained that it sounds very overwhelming and really counterintuitive to why would I want to go back and face these memories. It works, and this program is only 2 weeks, and the results last. So if you have a warrior coming in with a severe level of PTSD, on average, they're going to graduate the program at a moderate to mild level of PTSD, and they're going to maintain those gains well after their time at Warrior Care Network.
It is great to hear we have tools that are helping people to deal with PTSD. Dr. Fletcher and Tanya, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it. Of course, June is PTSD Awareness Month as well.